Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Wish You Were Beer Show. This is a weekly live beer review show that we do every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on YouTube. You can also stream it through Twitter and Facebook as well if you prefer those crap platforms. But thank you guys, as always, for joining us. If you're unfamiliar with the show, make sure you go down in the About section. You can like and subscribe to the actual YouTube page. That would be great if you did that. But you can also find all of our information underneath there about the show, the beer we're having. You can find all the different channels to follow us via Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, our website. Untapped is the other big one that we use to check in all of our beers and keep track on beers that we've had. So if you're unfamiliar with Untapped, it's basically just a social drinking app. So you can see what other friends are having, where they had the beer. You can log all your beers that you've had, where you've had them. It keeps a running list on them. So you can follow our show Untapped as well as our individual Untaps and see where we're having beer on any given day and what we thought about it.
Say Untapped one more time.
Untapped?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Just want
to Did I hit our quota? Do we get paid now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
We should tag them.
They pay in bottle caps, though. They only gave me 3 out of 5. But we try to keep up on all the different social media avenues as well. So we'll try to post to Instagram, some short videos through our YouTube channel as well as our weekly live show. So if you subscribe to the page, you can get alerts as to anytime we post anything, anytime we go live on any one of the platforms. So make sure you follow along with us and have a beer and watch us have beer and sometimes watch us have too many beers. That's rare for me.
It's very rare.
Not on the St. Patrick's Day show.
No, I cannot wait, sir.
Oh, that's going to be a mess.
If we don't get into a fist fight, is it even St. Patrick's Day?
Oh,
So it's just a tradition of ours.
okay.
But
Much like wearing matching shirts.
yeah, very. We both put our clothes on for the show, and we looked at each other like Family Guy. We're like, well, one of us has to change.
And neither one of us changed.
Headstrong.
Yeah.
I did not get the message.
I know, you're just in a robe.
I'm in a robe. Super
lab
comfortable.
Also, I forgot to mention as well, if you are logged into YouTube or if you're on Twitter, you can comment along with us. And Facebook. You can comment along, and we'll try to keep up on the comments in the sidebar. So if you were unlucky enough not to get the beer we're having tonight because you didn't use Beer Drop, even though we have consistently said try it out, then tell us what beer you're having. You can follow along and play trivia as well with us when we get to that section of things. Speaking of which,
Grandma, will you hit the like button on Facebook? That way we know you're watching because we can see the likes coming in. So
we can.
Oh wait, here we go. Facebook. I'll handle this. Donald Trump. There we go. All the Facebook likes just happened.
Uh-oh.
Whoa!
Thou shalt not.
Thou shalt not mention. So now make sure you comment along. Let us know what beer you're having. There's a little bit of a lag in the comment section, so if we don't immediately drag it in, they'll be like, "Oh, this show is shit."
I mean, it might be shit, but we're trying.
I'll take comments all day.
Mm-hmm.
Just the engagement is great. So just say whatever you want. Just reaching into the fridge. Hope you don't mind.
No, don't mind at all. Getting you a rude boy?
No. Oh, God. Can't reach. I put the rude boy real far down so I couldn't get him.
That's a last ditch.
I'm drinking a little mini Heineken tonight.
Nice. The same size bottles they serve down there.
Yep.
So for those of you who may be watching for the first time,
I apologize.
A. B. I am Daniel. This is Tiffany, and the robed man on the other side, apparently leaning up against the ladder, is Phil.
I got to get up here somehow.
Is that? I do like the idea that it's like a weird loft, and that is the ladder to it. Yeah. And it steps into the kitchen with the fridge.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. It makes perfect sense.
I kind of wish the bed was up there. That'd be nice. Like I'd have more space down in this little studio I live in.
True story. Luckily, you're in fucking St. Martin, so I don't know. Go outside.
Oh, right. I am in St. Martin. I totally forgot. Haven't been outside all day.
That makes good sense.
I think I got a little color. I think every week I'm going to get a little darker.
Oh, yeah. And you tan well.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I tan so well.
I mean, with that forehead, if you ain't catching sun, you're doing it wrong.
It's just burnt up there.
So you doing well down there? You getting out and about and making your rounds?
Learn about my cult. What does that mean?
I was hoping you guys knew.
I love it. Feels like we welcome. Come learn about my cult. The hell does that mean? Immediately attack.
Things are going well down here. Yeah. The weather finally picked up, so that's been good. It's been just sunny now, which is what you want because it rained almost every other day for 2 weeks that I've been down here. I think it's been 2 weeks now. Third show, 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. That's your captain's log, right? That's how many shows we've done since you've been there.
Reminds me of insult comic dog.
Triumph.
Yes,
Triumph.
I still have COVID brain, just for the record. Words are
but apparently not COVID anymore, so that's good.
No, I no longer have COVID, which is why I'm able to sit next to each other.
We're not 100% sure. Okay. Dr. Fauci didn't come to the house and tell her she didn't. But
the Virginia Department of Health and I had a long phone conversation while they were doing some contact tracing.
True.
Debbie and I, we talked for like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Shout out to the VDH.
Yeah. Thanks for calling, Debbie.
They're like, where have you been? You're like, where haven't I been?
They were like, where have you been for the last 2 weeks? And I was like, I don't know. I've had COVID for like a week at this point. How am I supposed to remember where I was 3 weeks ago? Like, I'm sick. I'm dying. I don't know.
You could probably go through your Untapped and we could remember where we've been the past
we'll know
3 weeks.
Exactly where you've been.
Untapped. Great for contact tracing.
Yeah. I did do a lot of my own personal contact tracing and Debbie was very appreciative of that. So,
I'm sure she was.
Yeah. Anyway.
So hopefully we're over that hump.
Yes.
All right.
Which is a good thing.
Good. So then not a lot has happened then in the past week for the two of you.
No, I mean, really, Tiffany's obviously been at home for 10 days as suggested.
I did watch 2 seasons of Emily in Paris.
Oh, let's talk about
all
Emily
I could think
Paris.
About was Peyton Manning on SNL talking about Emily in Paris.
He's like, yeah, the football game was fine. But
right, yeah.
Emily in Paris.
Much like when Emily, and I was like, oh, God.
Yeah. I had nothing better to do. So thank you for saving me from that. / I finished 2 seasons and that's all that exists. So I had nothing
Don't
to
worry,
do.
it's got 2 more. So
there's 4 seasons of it?
It got renewed for 2 more. So you got 2 more coming.
That is really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing what Emily does.
Is it Emily Goes Down in Paris? Because I've seen that film.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that one's a little older though.
Yeah, that was a weird 70s one.
Yeah. A lot of hair.
But back to.
So what are we drinking tonight?
Do you like? Oh, okay, fine.
Boy, it really jumped right into that.
Well, so I normally introduce a St. Martin beer when I said I would do that every week.
Yes.
And this week I actually went somewhere and had a beer and I filmed myself there awkwardly. And I'm going to allow the 2 of you and everyone else watching to see this clip of when I went to this bar called Dingy Dog Bar.
I love it.
It's in Simpson Bay, St. Martin. And enjoy. So I'm about to go into a place called Dingy Dog Bar. They claim to have craft beer. Let's find out. All right, so they do serve craft beer here, and it's actually Dingy Dog's own craft beer. So when they asked what they had, they just kept telling me styles, and I was like, oh, it's your, because it's not a brewery, it's a bar. So I found out that they actually do bring it in from the States, and that is what they serve here. So this is their double IPA, because it's a Friday at 4, and I have a show tonight, which I'm doing currently, and I figured, get started right. Oh, damn. That is incredibly good, actually. It's really bitter and strong and bold and flavorful. So if you're looking for a good double IPA, Dingy Dog Bar from the marina in Simpson Bay, definitely a spot to hit. Now, The one thing I will say, it's like, yes, I want good craft beer. This is good craft beer. This is state comparable, hence it's made in the States. But it was $9 for this. So when you're on vacation and you can get a $3 beer or you can get a $9 craft beer in this glass, it's kind of hard to not choose the $3 beer. Also, I will say in this heat, and I'm sure Daniel's already made fun of my tank top, double IPAs are not as good. Also, it is called Dingy Dog Bar for a reason. It's because this man's name is Dingy.
I dig it. And I did not make fun of your tank top. I didn't even mention it.
I was about to. So it's really me that you need to look
I should have known.
Yeah, I'm the jerk, and that's fine.
And also, I love that you shot a video because I'm always excited to see anything down there that's not like photography driven like you normally do down there. But I think you were so nervous about being by yourself talking to your camera and phone that it came across like maybe like a last will or testament, or you're gonna.
Oh yeah, it definitely was.
And you're like, I tell you what I would do.
It was very whispery.
So yeah, so it's weird because now that I was with my bigger camera because I had actually been filming and taking photos all day.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked good.
This was the end of my day. So of one, I was like dead tired. Two, I'm there and I heard the owner was like sitting right over there, and then like I was like, I don't need anyone questioning why I'm doing this. I'm just gonna sit here awkwardly and talk to myself really tired. Because I was just like, but I'm gonna do more. You know, you gotta get your feet wet. You know, gotta jump in.
True story.
Question: was the owner the old man that grabbed that woman's ass?
No,
Okay.
But it's St. Martin. That's standard. Here.
That's standard. That's a greeting.
Yeah.
Daniel's like, did he just? And I was like, yes. And she just slapped his ass. So seems
Welcome
like
to St. Martin. It's a fun place.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, true story. It was a Patriots bar. It was also the first thing I noticed. I was like, what?
Yeah, of course I left that clip in there.
Yeah, I know. How'd you guys do this shit? Oh.
Also, by the way, I just found out after that whole thing, so I drove by the airport. I was like, should I stop and take a few photos before? And I was like, no, I got to prep for the show. It's been a long day. So I was like, I skipped the airport, get home. I sign on to social media. The Pats airplane landed here today.
What?
Like the whole Patriots plane like flew in today. And I was like, nah, I'll skip the airport today.
It was just little Belichick though. It wasn't,
Yeah,
he took the whole plane out for a day.
I have no idea what it's here for. So
when you got a mullet like that, you fly first class.
I was going to say they didn't make it to Disneyland, so they decided to go to St. Martin instead.
Yeah.
Or Disney World? Is it Disney World? They go
Disney
to Disney
World. Yeah. No one goes to Disneyland.
I like
World's
Disneyland.
available.
Oh no, Disney World or land is garbage.
Garbage.
I mean, it's
California
great.
Adventures.
So many weird adults.
I've lived with a California adventure. I've had enough, sir.
Crab came down for a massage.
He came down to get the St. Martin rub down. You're right.
At least here, no one's gonna care.
Cost him an extra couple of shillings. I assume that's the currency there.
Yes, shilling.
Yes. Wood shavings and shillings.
Mm-hmm.
We barter in wooden shoes here, ma'am. You're on the Dutch side, right?
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Clogs, actually.
I'm on the clogged side.
Yeah.
Which sounds like my stomach. What the hell are we doing tonight? Are we gonna have a beer tonight?
We are.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so tonight we are doing Inhabited Form from Cerebral Brewing.
God, what is up with these words?
I know that whole Inhabited Form from Cerebral Brewing is just a. Whew, the arsonist has oddly shaped feet. Like it's a tongue twister. But so this is another brewery out of Colorado. So this is another one that we got from Beer Drop, which if you haven't tried Beer Drop, you can follow our link down in the bottom. You can get a discount. We get a discount as well if you on your first delivery of the beer. Most of them are Colorado-based breweries because that's where Beer Drop's based out of. But we've had several great breweries from there. We've had a couple of them on the show.
I'm drinking another one of them.
She's drinking another one that came from our
Hold on, is the can still
additional beer drop
Never mind.
that we accidentally didn't cancel, so we
Yep.
have another beer drop. So
And
give
just
them
so
a
you know,
shot.
they do warn you the day before, like
Yeah,
Yep.
Tiffany's been COVIDed up. So
Yeah, I
she-
don't
zero.
get email notifications because
just letting others know who sign up
Yep.
that
Correct.
it's
Yeah,
not,
this was
they
my
don't-
bad.
you don't just get beer suddenly, even though that sounds great too.
It does. Yeah, that would be awesome, actually. If I just like signed up for a subscription service, they never notified me and it just showed up every now and again whenever they felt like it. I'd be like, oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
I love it. So give Beer Drop a shot. We also use Tabor as well, and we illegally source other beers that we ship to each other. Let's just be honest.
And-
It's the internet.
you know what you should also do? Support your local brewery.
Mhm.
Who
Great.
usually do to-go beers
Yeah.
like in cans.
True story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or
Words.
growlers.
Yeah. I just felt like we should maybe pitch.
I mean, I'm wearing all Virginia Beer Company apparel.
Yeah,
I think
I
we're
think we've-
already
I-
pitching.
We've pitched plenty of your local breweries.
Not
For
our
sure.
local. I just meant in general, people should support their local breweries.
General.
Well, if someone's drinking a local brew tonight, let us know what you're having, and then they'll get a little shout out here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true story.
So,
So is this, are we going to do history and facts? Are we going to do that too? All right. So for those of y'all who may be unfamiliar with the show, originally History and Facts was a little bit of a different portion of things, but we love that sound clip so much we've just never gotten rid of it.
I don't regret it at all.
Huh?
I
Yeah,
don't
I
regret it
no
at all.
regrets. So this is the portion of the show typically where we do a little bit of trivia, either about the style of beer, the beer specifically, the brewery. We have had some themed trivias in the past as well that weren't so tightly beer driven. But you guys can answer along with us in the comment section. So as we go through trivia, Tiffany will be reading them off. Phil and I don't know the answers. I'm sure Vero does just because she read all about it. And y'all can guess along with us, and we can all be wrong together.
I love it.
I love it. So let's get into it. Let's do question one.
All right. What the heck is an oat lager?
The
Oh,
oat
no.
lager is what we're
You
having.
filled this in. Okay.
No, I forgot to erase it from last week because you
Cool.
didn't actually give me answers.
I
And so
didn't.
I just moved on.
So, COVID Tiffany
So
was
it's
like,
E. I think it's E.
yeah. So COVID Tiffany was like, I'm not gonna make this multiple choice. It is just a fill in the blank open style. Like it's the
But these are the answers from last week.
right. So
Yeah.
these are the A, B, and C are from last week.
However, I'm going to go with C just because I got a gut feeling.
So ignore those.
I love how right before this show started, we were like, we're gonna have nothing for the bloopers anymore. We're just nailing the show.
And here we are. Here we are.
All right. So what the
right,
heck's an oat lager?
Right.
So in oat lager, I assume, just based off the word, is brewed with oats, not necessarily just grain. Right? I don't know if it's an oat grain mixture or if it's brewed specifically or solely with oats and hops.
Yeah. I kind of wonder what oats bring to the table for a oat.
A lot of little bees, from what I understand. Oh
Just
no, that's
oat.
cereal.
Oats don't really have a lot of flavor, so I wonder what they bring to the table.
I think for me, most because we've had several oat lagers before. I think most of the time it's a little bit more of it's a less like bitter and a little more of like a creamy or smooth taste to it versus like most of your heavy grain. But again, I do zero research. I drink beer.
Tiffany?
So an oat lager it does use oats, and there's like actually never mind, I think that's another question.
I don't think you're allowed to use that word, Vero.
Yeah, you
All
can't
right.
say Quaker.
But yeah, so essentially what the oats do is they are an additive to this. And it makes the beer. So when you think about like an oatmeal stout, like it's kind of sweet and really smooth. When you add it to a lager, which is usually like a really clean, crisp beer, it does make it a little bit more like sturdy of a beer. Like it's got more of that mouthfeel. Some people can even say it has kind of like an oily texture to it, depending on how much oats you're using. But it does kind of like smooth it out, and it does give it a little bit more of a flavor to it. And with this beer that we're drinking tonight, which is also foeder aged, it's gonna have foeder. It's gonna have in theory, it's gonna have a lot of that like oak barrel age flavor as well.
I don't know if I want oats in my foeder.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I want oats anywhere, it's in my foeder.
Anyway, the darker beers that it's usually in, they kind of mask the oat flavor. But the oats, they say, have like that kind of, it's kind of like a roasted, like textured, I don't know, smoothness to it.
Okay, so I have a question for Katie. Katie, why do you not drink oat lagers? That seems like a very specific thing to hate on.
No, so I will say, so I was looking, I literally said like oat lager versus regular lager. Like, what is the difference? Trying to figure this out.
And the answer was Katie doesn't drink oat lagers.
No, it was that a lot of people have tried to use oats and make oat lagers and did not like how it turned out. And I don't know if because they used maybe too much and it was more of that like that oily texture.
Feel. Yeah.
Or if like the actual oat flavor was like overpowering. I know that oats also ferment differently than the typical grain bill that you would see. And so you have a possibility of it getting like funky.
But the oats are an additive, right? There's still the grain variance in it. They're adding oats in the process, but it's not purely oats.
From what I can tell, yes.
Okay.
I do not brew beer.
Okay.
I could not find very many answers, but it seemed like it was not...
That's fair.
The only thing.
One thing real quick before we go any further. Vero is not American.
Okay.
I mean, she's been here for 20 years, so I mean, she's been an American almost as long as I have been.
Just throwing that.
So I know Katie doesn't drink oat lagers, but
sure.
I gotta ask, Katie, you drink Rude Boys?
Damn Rude Boy out of here.
I mean,
honestly, at this point,
she married Andrew, so
you should never drink that beer and just frame it behind you when you get back home, so it's always in the show. Put it in a little shadow box, hang her on the wall.
I hear it ages delightfully.
Oh God, yeah.
It's premium.
It's premium.
Yeah, it's that horny goat weed. It ages real nice.
All
right. So next.
Yeah,
yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. True or false? Oats contains starch and beta glucan, which is referred to as gums, which creates a smoother but thicker beer flow. I'm sorry, I already answered this question.
Yep, she true.
Boom.
But again, even before we got into trivia, this is almost what I described the differential point to be: is the smoother, a little bit thicker. Like it's almost exactly what I said, minus gums.
Yeah.
I never would have been like, because it's got more gums.
You're right.
The only time I've been excited for something to have more gums was she was elderly.
Next question.
Oh, okay, all right. Hold on, wait. I know we blew through question 2.
Yeah.
But
it's because you were right.
I know. Yeah, I know I was right. But we're on question 3. That means I get to open this damn beer. Right. Okay. So
I feel like that keeps moving up. I feel like you're gonna be like, question 1, open it up.
Nope, question 3. So
usually it was after we finished 3, but it's fine.
Usually at this part of the show, I'm getting antsy to try this beer. So during the next couple of trivia questions, we're gonna go ahead and crack this beer open, have a little bit of it / all of it for me, so that by the time we get to the portion where we review it, we'll actually have a full flavor profile. There we go.
So it does say on the can, it says the grist, which is like your
what is the grist?
It's the grain profile.
Mm-hmm.
But it says pilsner and oats, which means that they did use a pilsner grain and malt with the oats. So
no, she's pretty though. All right.
Thank you.
Let me just pour
the beer's
it in my
good too.
glass. Hope no one minds.
God. Phil, I'm so mad at you that
romantic
you've been
with
down there that long. You still haven't bought a fucking beer glass.
I haven't had time, but that's all right.
Okay. I saw your video. I think you have time, sir.
I made time to shoot a crappy video. Leave me alone.
I love it. All right. Well, let's get into question 3. I dare you.
There
All right.
you go.
What were the professions of the 3 founders of Cerebral
They're
Brewing
the 3 best friends.
prior to opening? Select all that apply.
I hate these.
So, international
so many.
consultant. I know. I got really excited to just keep
Yeah.
going. So, international consultant, financial analyst, doctor of physical therapy, microbiologist, semi-professional baseball player, travel agent, or chemistry professor.
Being the fact that this is an oat lager in a foeder, I'm going to say that there was a chemistry involved somewhere and probably a microbiologist as well, because both of those flow very well into the beer world. However, there's always somebody that's got to actually talk about the brewery and be the face of it, which means they had a consultant as well. So I'm going to say A, D, and G.
I'm going with travel agent. And just travel agent. I think Tiffany went crazy here. I think she posted a bunch of jobs because she was trying to hide that travel agent.
Travel agent just makes me think of the game of life. Like,
So-
yeah, you would go from travel agent to brewer owner in the game of life.
As
All
long
right,
as you don't
Katie
have
says
kids in the
D.
back, you're good.
Andrew says,
D.
"Oh, dag." Oh,
Yeah.
wait, D-A-G. I see it. He chose not to go in the correct alphabetical order.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it another 10, 15 seconds.
I don't know why, because I'm obviously right.
Okay.
It's A, D, and G. 100%. I've never been
Solid F.
so confident about anything in my. Oh, God damn it. Never mind. Vero said A, C, and D, so I'm wrong.
All right. So Vero is right.
Duh.
I know. Everyone looked shocked. So they were an international consultant.
I got one.
There's a doctor of physical therapy and a microbiologist.
I was close. I got 2.
You did. You got 2 out of
2
3.
out of 3. That's 75% correct.
Yeah. Phil, I literally threw the travel agent in there knowing that you'd probably pick that one.
There's a 50-50 chance here for me, I think.
I also assumed that the baseball player was so kind of out in left field. That
we had a semi-professional baseball player on the
we
on
did,
the show once, so I was like, "That's weird."
but I was like, maybe.
Correct, Katie. I did quick math and was 100% wrong. Thank you for reminding me I was homeschooled.
But yeah, so when you actually go into their venue,
Exactly how
they
I feel.
actually have a skeleton that's in there dressed in one of their t-shirts and a bunch
Nice.
of beakers, and it's very kind of science.
They have Beaker
driven.
from the Muppets.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's actually there with the Swedish chef, and they are brewing beers.
I'm leaving.
But yeah, so apparently their space is super cool, and it definitely pulls from the microbiologist and physical therapist side of things of the human body, and then the consultant is just
He's outside sales.
Yeah.
100%.
or I think he's the I think they said he was the business financial guy.
Oh, okay.
slash travel agent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, if he's an international consultant, he did do some travel.
When he's not playing AAA league ball. When he's not batting DH.
On the isotopes. Yeah.
That sounds like a weird DJ. DJ semi-pros on the isotopes. All right. So for the record, I was majority right. Next question.
All right. True or false? After being founded in 2013, Cerebral Brewing won silver at the Great American Beer Festival.
So they won it the same year or after being founded anytime between 2013 and
Yeah,
now?
the first year after opening in 2013, they won this.
They won a silver award.
Yeah.
At the GAB.
At the
Yep.
OK American Beer Festival.
Yeah. Okay, Corral.
It's all right. Have a silver.
Well, so you put trivia together after they didn't respond to our request to be on the show, so you knew they were going to be here, which means it really could be true or false at this point. Usually, if they're on, she's not going to be like, false. You nerds haven't won shit.
They've won 5 awards. False.
Vero says true. I don't know if it's true for a person named Brett or true that they won for a Brett beer. I'm going to go it's true for Brett, but it's still false here. How about it?
Well, that's a weird beard here.
I'll go it's false for Brett Butler. And
Speaking of semi-pro ball, you Kansas City.
All right.
Yes. They did win for a Brett beer. And the name of it was Our Mutual Friend. It was a collaboration beer that they had done.
So when you win with a collaboration beer, do both people get the award?
Yes.
Right? I'm sorry. I know
so.
that's off topic, but...
I mean, sort of. Not necessarily off topic. I mean, we're talking about it.
Yeah, but so if you do a collaboration beer and you win with that beer, even though you're the one that put it out...
I mean,
do they have to
both
give you
would
2
submit it
awards?
together. Yeah. You would submit it together.
Boy, no wonder the cost of silver has gone up. We're giving it away.
Next question.
Oh, now I'm lost.
True or false? When conditioning beers in an oak foeder, it is easy to maintain the same flavor profile again and again, provided you're using the same style of beer. I know it's a wordy one, but basically,
it's wordy. But
if you're doing the same pilsner, for example,
Right.
this one back to back in a foeder, you're going to maintain that same flavor profile because the wood, in theory, would absorb it. And
I disagree because I think the wood is going to continue to absorb things and change the flavor, even if you're using the same thing. So I'm going to say false.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. I think that, the absorption, it's going to, you already said it all.
I don't know. There's probably something you could add to it that's more intelligible, but
I might have to drink that Rude Boy to wake myself up.
it's a breakfast drink.
All right, so it is false. There are a lot of different types of foeders. There's a clean one, which is really just the oak. There are ones that are charred on the inside, so they're going to have like more of a smoky flavor profile.
Yep.
And so depending on how long it's sitting in there, it'll actually pull, especially the charred ones, it'll pull the char off of it, and it'll essentially like clean the inside of the barrels over time.
Nice.
And so a lot of people end up buying foeders. They do the first variant of it in a mixed ferment beer. So it's like a Brett, non-sour, whatever.
Right, no wild ales, nothing like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And they do a cleaner lager or something of the sort, and then they'll move it into their mixed fermentation area, and then they'll buy another foeder for that.
Correct.
And then so they'll eventually have 3 or 4 foeders in
Basically,
their mixed ferment.
The moral of the story is always, if there's one foeder on site, they're probably not doing it right.
I mean, it depends on, I guess, like financial. If you only bought it for the mixed fermentation, you don't necessarily need to use it for a lager. Yeah. It's just a lot of people tend to kind of have that mentality of use the clean flavor for a lager like this because it does pull out and it gives it a little bit more body and flavor to it.
I don't think I've ever been anywhere that only had one foeder though. There's always at least 2.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm sure we've been somewhere where there was one. I just can't remember.
Adam France, you son of a bitch. A Freeverse FC is a new soccer team that I'm going to be playing on, Adam, with Lucy, which means we're going to play the Misfits. All right, sorry.
We used to play soccer.
Yes, I will be playing a rec league, soccer league again.
I'll just be drinking.
In the spring.
As adults do, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll be drinking as well before and after, which is fun.
I'm not allowed to play
sounds
anymore.
awful. I used to play kickball, and I would drink sometimes before the game, and it was the worst ideas.
Dude,
it
just all foams up.
If you're gonna run for 30 minutes, I need at least 2 beers.
So I have a bad back. Like MRI says my back is like an 80-year-old. It's not good. So in order to play soccer, I would usually have 2 beers before and then 1 beer or so after to like numb it with the ibuprofen that I'd already taken as well.
It's a real drug and alcohol problem.
Yeah, which is why I'm not playing this year. It's not gonna work well for me.
Agreed, Jed. Thanks for stopping by.
But yeah, I do miss playing soccer. That was a lot of fun.
Do we have any more trivia?
Nope, that was the last one.
Don't. That's it.
I got all of them 3/4 of the way right.
Okay.
That's a first for me.
Good job.
That's like a new record.
Yeah, 100%. And I hadn't set any records prior to that, so any record I'd set would be a new one. So that's nice.
Actually, I think we flipped because I don't think I got one right tonight. So.
No, you got the last one with the false and the
yeah, you did.
And I honestly don't remember anything.
Well,
else.
if you're gonna give me foeder trivia, I'm gonna get that right. I know my way around a foeder.
No one is surprised by that. Oh, good, Kitty, you're having the thank you. Oh, that's the
main beer company.
Yeah, so good. They do not miss. If I didn't have to pay $14 for a bottle of it, half-size bottle of it.
Don't we have the thank you from?
It's like this size.
No, it's a little bigger than that.
It's, yeah.
I know you are poor at gauging sizes, Phil, but yeah, it's bigger than that.
Don't we have thank you from Treehouse?
Yes.
We were supposed to send that.
Compliments of Katie and Andy.
Yeah.
So yes.
I just realized we didn't send that.
Whoops.
How'd everyone else do? Everyone else score well out there?
We'll
Never
see.
ask how everyone else does.
I know. Sorry.
My bad.
Tally up your scores.
Yeah,
So wins.
Good news. You
You'll
can't
get
talk unless I bring you in, so y'all lost. Vero got them all wrong.
Nope.
Let's review this damn beer.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So for those of you, again, unfamiliar with the show, this is the portion of the show where we're actually going to talk a little bit about what we think about the beer and review the beer. And this week we are reviewing Inhabited Form from Cerebral Brewing out of Colorado. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first?
Tiffany does.
I can go first.
Phil, you had a double at lunch. Are you sure? You should go first.
I will. It's fine. I got it. All right. One. I like this can. It's got a little face, and I think that's really fun. And then it's got this like hop brain thing. Hold on. I think it's like trying to focus on our faces. Oh yeah. Okay. He's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the can is simple, but it's fun. I also like that the stripe matches the eyeballs and the green like my eyes. So, win-win there.
Win-win.
Also, it's got a little foeder on it in the top. I like this can. It's very fun. And it gives you a bunch of like how they actually brewed it. Well, sort of, but it was in the oak foeders for 3 weeks, and then to clear it up, put it in the stainless steel. It is like Howl's Moving Castle, and then they put it in the stainless steel bright tanks to literally brighten it up. And they tell you all that, including the different tasting notes. So the tasting. Right. Breweries that are listening, can we make this a thing?
It really does help to understand what you're getting out of a beer if you're not that familiar with it.
I mean, this Heineken bottle couldn't even spell Pilsner right. So
can't even with you.
But I think that as people start to drink more beer and they start to be more aware of like what is going into it, especially what hops are being used, you can kind of start to differentiate which ones you like and which ones you don't, and which ones you want to stay away from and which ones you're going to gravitate towards. So this one has Galaxy and Citra, which are some of my favorites. And then the tasty notes, it says dried kiwi, lemon zest, and honeydew melon. So with that being said, drinking this, it is really light. It's a really like clean beer, but it does have kind of like more like texture to it that you wouldn't expect, especially when looking at it. Like it looks like a pilsner, but it definitely has like the melon and kiwi, and like I get more lemon than lime, but like based on the tasting notes, it definitely helps kind of understand what I'm smelling and tasting, because thank goodness I didn't lose that with COVID. But I really like this beer. I think it's a really fun variant on a pilsner. And so I'm going to give this a 4.
Cool.
All right.
I tend to agree with you in the sense that it's got a little more texture to it. It's got a little more flavor to it. It's not just like a nice clean Pilsner, which is great
Right.
by itself, but it really is a little bit smoother. I get a little bit of lime out of it, but that could just be like the citrus zest in general, which is kind of nice though. I didn't expect that out of a oat variation, because usually the oat variations really are like mouth coating and like creamy almost. So I think the one thing that, like, if you read the bio about this show about the beer, it's set to kind of rival some of the IPAs. Like, even if you're an IPA person, this could be a beer that becomes your go-to.
Yeah.
And I think that's because of the acidicness of some of the, like, the zest and the fruit variation that gives it almost like a bitterness, like an IPA, even though it's a Pilsner, even though it's smooth, even though it's creamy. So
it is hopped. Like,
you
can tell it's hopped too.
Yeah.
So I agree with you 100%. I'm also giving it a 4. It's fantastic.
Out of 5 for the record.
Oh yeah, 4 out of 5. Yeah. So we use
Bottle
the Untapped
caps.
rating scale.
Yes.
So it's 5 bottle caps is holy shit.
It's like an orgasm.
We're getting married, you know.
Yeah.
We've had one on the show.
Will lead to,
We have.
What?
An orgasm.
Orgasms.
We've had one on the show.
I don't recall that at all. I drank a lot that
We
episode.
blacked out. It was that good.
So that's 2 4s. What do you got, Phil?
All right. So I completely agree with everything that's been said. I don't really have much more to add
Next
to
show.
it. Next. I will say the IPA thing is very interesting to me, because I think if you just gave me this beer and told me and said, what is this beer? I'd probably say an IPA.
Yep.
Like it tastes a lot like an IPA to me. But I'm not mad about it. I love Galaxy and Citra as well. I think the fruit is nice. It's light. It's great. So I'm going 4 as well. That's a solid 4 across the board here.
It reminds me of an IPL.
Yeah, like an Indian Pale Lager. Yeah.
Which is one of my favorites because it's a hoppy lager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if I've really had many kiwi flavored beers.
But I'm so low on the kiwi spectrum, I don't even know.
We have kiwis in the fridge right now.
I'm a low functioning kiwi on the spectrum. I don't know anything about it.
I just ate one yesterday.
Right. That used to be a slang term for like an Australian person.
I think
now
it's
I feel like
New
I can't
Zealand.
even. What? Is it New Zealand?
Yep.
Yeah, the New Zealand kiwi.
Boy, my Australian friends have never corrected me.
Did you know you're not allowed to grow your own avocados in New Zealand?
Oh, that's a shame.
I read a whole article on that, and I don't remember why I remember that, because this was many years ago.
All right.
We have some.
So that's a show score of 4, clean across the board.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have we had one where we
And even Vero gave it a 4, which I will say, if the 4 of us have agreed on this, that's I think a first.
I think
Yeah.
that is a first. Yeah.
Andy, if you could send me more Bissell Brothers, they gave me one of the best spruce tip saisons I've ever had. Please send that to me. If you've been on our page, there's a review of me talking about the Bissell Brothers spruce tip saison that I had.
That was like a 5 for Daniel, and I filmed it.
Yeah, and when I get a 5, I'm usually pretty deep in the foeder, so it went pretty well. If you haven't had the chance to see that, go on the page.
It's fun.
The review is solid.
Yeah. I was giggling so hard.
So let's do this part of the show where we're going to go through some of the Untaps. I wonder how many times we've said Untapped tonight.
Untapped. I don't know why you got
Untapped.
so northern
How
about
many
it.
times we've said Untapped. We'll go through some of the Untapped, see what other people thought. You know, brewers love Untapped, so we figured let's bring them on and let's see what people are saying about this beer.
I can't believe it's not lager. Oh, wait, that's butter. Hold on. Yeah, sorry.
Felipe.
But so Felipe,
There's
no hash mark on the E.
It's
just
probably
Felipe.
because they couldn't.
Weird.
I mean,
last
you
name,
hold
though,
the
just
E
a
on the
C.
keyboard. This has been a thing since T9. So,
Felipe.
he gave it no
score.
score.
He just couldn't believe it was.
He just couldn't. He was so blown away. He couldn't even be bothered to score it. I can't believe this is in lager.
I will say though, if you think you're getting a lager and you're not, like a part of me wanted to drop it a notch, but I think dropping it a notch for me was bringing it down to the 4 because it's so good. But
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
there's a little part of me.
I was a little upset I didn't taste more of like the oak flavor from like the foeder, but at the same time, I think really when I think about a foeder, it really kind of brings all the flavors together and like marries them all versus like separate flavors.
Right.
So in that case, it makes sense.
Yep. Wait, hold on. I got to bring it back up full screen. I missed out on
All right.
it.
Very crisp, surprisingly delish.
That person just wanted to fucking rap on Untapped. Also, how big is that man's thumb? It's like the whole can.
Wait, not that I have very large hands.
So he purchased this from Woodman's in Rockford, Illinois. So do they distribute? Do they have
been a beer drop thing? Oh, but it says he purchased it from.
Yeah, it said he purchased it, which is a grocery store. So
they might.
Interesting.
I don't think his thumb's that big.
Yeah, it is.
I think the thing's a little warped as well.
Also, look, it's way up on his hand, and his thumb's still.
I mean, that's.
Anyway,
I have small hands. I'm just trying.
He's a verified adventurer, though. So
he is, which goes a long ways in my book. I trust him.
Brewery pioneer. Basically tastes like an IPA, but not bad.
Oh, so this is a person who's not an IPA fan.
Yeah.
Basically tastes like an IPA, but it's not bad.
Sean D, not a fan.
Not a fan.
I mean, he did give.
Gave the same score. Is that 4 or 3 point?
No, he must be a supporter because that's like 3.79 repeating.
Okay.
So maybe this is kind of almost an entry level into the IPA world beer.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is because I think from an entry level like beer like this, it's probably confusing to people who are expecting a regular lager. People who wanted something heavier are probably also upset about it in some capacity. But I think it's like that weird beer in between where it's if you've had a bunch of oat lagers before, this one is a little bit different.
It is a cleaner. It's less heavy than other oat lagers.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Crispy.
Crispy is such a. I saw something recently from like a beer person on Twitter, and they were like, "I can't wait to live in a world where crispy is no longer a term that describes beer." And I was like, I can get on board with that.
Are you getting bready?
No.
I was kind of hoping for more bready.
So I think it's too light to be bready.
Yeah, I mean, bready is not bad.
In like a pilsner or a lager, I usually want it to be kind of bready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, remember that sourdough one we had? The sourdough like lager. It's very good.
I have to go back on Untapped 3,000 plus beers and remember.
I remember.
So Michael M, who's untapping from home near Christmas time, I hope. Otherwise, put your fucking tree away. Says delicious.
It is. It does say the 27th of
Notes
December.
of I didn't get that far down. I'm reading from the top to the bottom.
I'm just saying.
Notes of kiwi and melon for sure. So I didn't get a lot of kiwi. Melon, I understand. I don't get anything sour out of this beer. Is that just the
Oh, because he added the sour?
Yeah, he added a sour and watery.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing about this beer is watery.
I'll kind of back up the watery aspect because I will say when I first took a sip of it, the flavor was super strong and I loved it.
Sure.
As I've gotten down and further down, it's gotten a little more watery.
Isn't that just because you're used to it at that point?
So,
could be, but it depends on when this guy puts in the score. You know, it's like
that's fair.
I wouldn't label it watery, but I can see why someone might say
that. If anything, I would say it's mouth watering.
Ooh.
In the fact that like I continue to like salivate in a very like generic term, but like I keep wanting to drink more of it. I like the flavor of it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
It's not watery though in my mind, because a watery beer like is much more in my mind like an American lager. Like it is just. It's very basic. It is a really low ABV. It's basically you're hydrating between beers.
Fair.
I will say I'm upset I don't have another one of these.
Yeah, I do.
I kind of want another one. I will say.
Interesting.
I do like this one.
Well,
I got a Rude Boy though.
I'm gonna drink the rest of Tiffany's as soon as the show is over, so
Nope.
I'll be fine.
I haven't had a beer in 10 days, minus the one I had right before this.
Hey,
see y'all later.
I hate to be the clock watcher here, but there's another portion of the show we still have to get to.
Yep.
Cool. I don't. All right, so this is the part of the show we all prepare for the least.
Classy I am.
Yeah, God, look at you drinking white wine out of a wine glass. Oh, nope. So this is the part of the show where we take a second to reflect on something either from the week, the month, the year, our entire lives, whatever, that we wish was actually beer versus what it is. So if you have a wish you were beer, throw it in the comments on something you wish from this week, today, yesterday, a year ago. I don't care.
You seem to know what you're getting.
I mean, mine's always extremely easy. I take the low hanging fruit.
Sometimes it's not though.
They're very deep, but
you hang that fruit, Daniel.
Mine is easy. Low hanging fruit.
Hang it low. Tell us.
I'm turning 37 this weekend, so it's a lot of low hanging fruit.
Someone wants a birthday gift.
Oh, we didn't have the brewery on, so I can't ask for that. So mine's relatively simple. We're looking at having some trees taken out of our yard.
Oh, yeah.
So I honestly, at this point, I just wish trees were beer because I've never paid that amount of money for 8 beers.
Yeah, I assume it's going to be pretty expensive.
Hold on, Katie. Continue.
Yeah, I need to know what this super embarrassing memory is.
Because I talked about peeing on my pants in first grade on this show.
Pants.
Well, I peed on my pants.
On them. No, they were on. He took it out.
No, I peed on the
them.
pants. I didn't pee on myself.
You
pants.
peed on the slide through your pants.
Right.
Were you not? Yeah. All right.
I will go.
I don't want to talk
gonna
about
need
it
more.
anymore.
We're going to need more details about that
Yeah,
embarrassing
you
thing.
can text me
can't throw
if
that
you
out there.
prefer not to post it publicly, but I need to know.
You haven't put it up. You don't bring it up and then not finish.
So I will go next. I wish, and this is an easy one, but I wish the COVID headache was a beer. I have had a headache for 10 plus days now, and it is awful. The amount of like ibuprofen that I've taken is probably destroying my stomach lining as I speak. And I am looking forward to one day not having a constant headache. Today was
I'll move out.
Today was probably one of the better days, and I assume that's because it is like I'm on the upswing. But according to the interwebs and my doctor and Debbie from the Virginia Department of Health, people who have chronic migraines like myself tend to have long COVID headaches. So I just assume this is a month-long plus thing for me.
Fair.
It's going to be really exciting.
Why do you wish it was beer, though?
Oh, I'm sorry. Because if I had 10 days worth of beer, I would be really excited.
You'd have an equal amount of headaches.
No, because it would just be 10. It'd be 10 beers instead of 10 headaches.
Fair.
And 10 days, one a day. I feel like that's a normal amount.
That's a vitamin at your age.
Yeah.
One a day. Sally Fields talked about it. It's for bone density.
50 plus.
50 plus.
Yeah, I wish headaches were beer.
All right, and Vero wishes that
your
HR manager was beer because even if she was a Warhead's Extreme Sour, she'd be better as a beer.
I have heard a lot about. I've heard a lot about this person.
We got to get the Warheads.
I think we drink
seltzers.
the same.
There's no hangover on a bender. I have
Adam, we also drink
10
the
beers,
same.
one
Agreed.
headache. Yeah, but that headache does last 10 days. No, I mean 1 beer a day, 1 headache a day, 10 beers. 10.
You lost me at math. Go, Phil.
So mine is I wish that DJ house music was beer.
On the ones and twos.
Didn't see that one coming.
I saw it coming.
I got a Rude Boy in here I could bring out instead. So I got a ticket to this DJ like house set, and I don't like music like this. Like it's so popular here on the island where it's just the same freaking thing over and over again. It's just like, just, and you're just like, come on, stop. It's like,
so you've also had a headache.
I have. But so I don't normally go out because I don't like these things. But this one was at the highest point of the island, and it's where they have the biggest zip line. It's like the steepest zip line you can go in the world, where it just drops you. So they had this big tower on top of this like mountain where you would line up to go down on the zip line. And they decided, well, like we need to get more money, so let's do a DJ set up there every like once a month. And so you go up that you have to take a chairlift up to it.
Nice.
So it's like this, and I was like, I gotta go to this. Like I gotta at least see this. And I literally walked in, and it was just a bunch of people all crammed together, just like going like this, just
You're
doing
bringing
this.
up ecstasy.
And the DJ is just like it's not even plugged in. It's just in his iPod. And
you said it's an iPod? Is that
Yeah.
what the technology is down there?
yeah, they just hit play.
With
and then
the
they
wheel?
just do this. Yeah.
You hear the clicks?
I could hear them. No, because it never changes songs. It's the same freaking thing the whole time. It's just on loop. So I went up there. I went, oh, that looks like fun. I went to the outside, enjoyed the view, and then I got on the chairlift and rode a very half-hour-long, slow chairlift ride back down in the dark by myself.
Oh, God, I love it.
And if it was beer, I would have been great. That would have been fantastic.
Also,
But it was not.
Adam has a suggestion for our
Adam
show.
would like us to do a gas station malt liquor review and bring in an expert guest as well.
Ooh.
Which is like, so we're going to do Mad Dog 2020, and it's going to be in a glass bottle nowadays.
I have never had that.
And then this is my favorite. Adam looking for his 15 minutes of fame as an expert. Wait, it gets better. Hashtag, I'm sorry, I don't even know you. Adam, meet Katie. She's fantastic, and let's do some Mad Dog 2020. I am for it.
I have never
Actually,
had
that's a
one.
great idea. We
Yeah.
should do an episode like
Well,
that.
that's going to be on our Saturday show where we get drunk at a gas station, which bleeds into our Sunday show of recovery.
Yeah.
The closest thing was probably our American beer
Oh,
beer
God,
show.
yeah.
Where we,
Maybe-
That and the
Yeah.
Warhead sours.
Maybe so either we do this one as like a short, or maybe we do like
no, it's a
just
full episode.
this is no it's like, this is like our 4th of July episode. Is like this next one is whatever we find at the local gas station.
I love it.
So basically, we're just going to have Adam on, and we're going to get shit house.
And the food pairing, as Katie has suggested, is
Gas
Gas
station
station
fried
fried
chicken.
chicken.
I know
I
a
don't
place. It's called Phil. Where did we stop when we went up to the mountains? Remember, we stopped on like Ward Boulevard.
is it Churches?
No, it's not
No,
Churches. It's a gas station. Remember, because
Not
we
Sheets.
No, it's not Sheets. You're not that lucky. I would never take you to a nice place like that.
It's the one that's like, I know we've been there.
Yeah, but we stopped there and bought shit before we went to the mountains, and I was like, "We can get some fried chicken if you're interested."
God, I can't remember what it is.
It's fine. I'll put it out later.
Flaming hot Cheetos.
All right. What
What are we doing next week?
Yeah. What are actually we're doing?
I
the
just
comments
grabbed it.
here. Yeah.
And I have the cup.
We are doing Triple Dragon from.
Would you
Common
stop
Space
saying
Brewery.
Dragon? It makes me so mad. I don't know why.
What? Did you never play Double Dragon as a kid?
I did, but I think we played it differently because
I
I
don't.
won.
That game was so hard.
God, it was. You and your RPGs and your everything else. Triple Dragon was hard.
I love this can art.
Yes.
I think it's super fun.
This one's been in our like main fridge, not in our beer fridge, forever. And every time I go in there, I'm like, I want to drink this. I'm like,
Nope.
oh, I think that's a show beer.
Yeah, I forgot that I took pictures of it, and then didn't put it back. But we actually had a bunch of Common Space beers probably 2 months ago, because sometimes I get really lucky through work and people want us to like try their products, and by bringing in a brewery and sending us free beers, they get to pitch their product and make us sit through the whole thing while we talk to the brewery. And so I got to talk to I say got to. I didn't really talk with him, but the owner for Common Space and I / 10 of our good friends.
Correct.
They had a
which is hilarious because I am the one who magically made this appear in your house from California.
Yes.
Which is funny, but we had already had a bunch of their beer. So when it showed up, I was like, oh, we know these guys.
Yeah.
Well, we felt like we were like, oh, I know this beer.
I have a picture of him on my work computer screen and me with a beer being like, well, this is great.
Yeah, they did a whole thing about the artist that does a lot of their
No, that was a different one.
Was that a different one?
This happens more than once.
Yeah.
But that one was out of Maine, or they were northeast. And they had a really cool can art who actually ends up like he had a cool camera that was like down at his notebook and he starts like sketching a new like beer label for the group that I was a part of.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And the
That's
profession.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, get excited. This can also tells us what's in it.
I know. I noticed that as well.
I know.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I would say all of their labels are super cool. Whoever the artist is, I'm sure it says on the can. I don't have it in front of me. But the Common Space artist is fantastic, and all of their
Art
stuff
by M. Matterberg.
Yeah, but all of their cans have that, so it clearly because they have this thing about like being transparent and like saying what's in their beer because they're really proud of what they put into it. It's a lot of like good
juju
ingredients. And so anyway, it was cool. So I think they are going to be on next week. I seem to remember them writing back to me, but that was like early COVID, Tiffany. So I don't remember a lot of that conversation.
We'll have him on next week, and if not, I'll bring Adam on, and he'll pretend like he's from the brewery.
Oh.
Perfect.
So that being said, we are an hour and 2 minutes, so I'm going to shut this shit down
because he has to pee.
Because I got to pee, and I refuse to get up on camera and go pee again because I'm not giving Phil that kind of quality.
I mean, I feel like just right now is plenty of.
No, it's fine. So again, everybody, we do this every week, Thursday, live at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Every time in between, you can find us elsewhere: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, our webpage. Follow the beers we've had. You can get our calendar and follow the beers we're going to have in the future. Try to find them. If not, you can always comment along and tell us what beers you're having.
Yep.
Please like and subscribe. Please follow us on the individual channels, so that we can have more people to make fun of that they can't defend themselves. It'd be great.
Well, that and eventually,
I don't want to make any money off this shit.
I 100% would like to.
Oh, okay. We'd like to make money off this shit.
So we're only like 970 subscribers.
Right.
Dude, we are so close.
But
think about when we started.
We are a lot closer than when we started. But as we get more subscribers, we can start offering more cool things like stickers and merch, and like we can actually start traveling and doing more like on-site stuff. Yeah, but we could like actually go and like for a reason. Like we can go to the Great American Beer Festival. Everyone can send us there.
Anyway.
I already had COVID. I'm safe at this point.
Make sure you follow us, like, subscribe. We'll see you guys again next Thursday. And if you're lucky, we might be on Instagram this weekend. Later, Dater.
That's the wrong.